So, what should the emotes be for this channel? I think we've definitely got to have some sort of thinking emote. I gotta turn off drawing on the grid there. So we definitely got to have something like that because, I mean, I use thinking emotes a lot, and if nothing else, I'll make it like a tier 2 or tier 3 one. I think we got to have some sort of introduction, like some sort of a waving emote. There's a default one as is. But if I'm gonna have emotes, I'm gonna make my own. You know, I'm not gonna use the defaults. Yo, Hunter, what's up? Let's see. Actually, I'm going to try one other thing with this animation to speed it up a little. Let's clear the memory of the program. Oh yeah, I think I know what it might be. Let's close that layer. Alright, well that's getting a little bit faster at least. So yeah, I had 2 versions of the rough animation layer because I was testing some timing stuff right after the last stream ended. Trying to figure out which version of this to go with. We'll work on that in a bit. The playback doesn't matter too much when I'm actually, you know, drawing the frames. But back to art. Let's see. So I'm going to try one other thing. Whoa. Alright. Oh well. So, we got Pog. Maybe a thinking emote, maybe a wave. Maybe some sort of surprised face. Like a what emote, you know? No, Juker, I'm gonna design my own tier 3. It's gonna be so epic, you don't even know. So, here's something I've thought about for check this out, because I do want to have a check this out emote. Can you do, like, animated text emotes on Twitch? Because I think it'd be really cool to just have, like, check this out scrolling by. So basically something like... yeah, something like that. Alright, well then yeah, maybe I'll do that for my animated emote. Or, you know, animate the concept of it. Like, have one of my characters do a pose or a gesture or something and then immediately fuck up and fall out of the frame or something. But yeah, I just wasn't sure if they had, like, any issues with people using text as their animated emotes. You can even make it a static emote. Yeah, you know, I feel like that's the optimal use of your animated emote. Just, oh, that's what it was. The one-letter emotes. I knew I had heard something involving text emotes. That is weird. Could have some kind of, could have some kind of, like, fail emote. Some kind of, cheering victory kind of emote. Some kind of, like, let's go emote, whether that's text or having a character just looking really hyped up, which again kind of applies to the cheering emote I had here, but different kind of energy, you know? Yo, welcome to the chat. What other emote ideas do you guys have? So I've got a surprising amount of slots compared to what I expected at the start, so obviously I can't make every idea I come up with, but I can make a couple. Yeah, an oof could be good. So you could have either the text, like a character cringing or something. Yeah, the tier 3 is probably going to be a joke one for myself. Same with the bit ones. An art emote? Yeah, we could. I don't know if I want to just do like the word art, because I know a few people that already have emotes like that. I mean, I designed one of those for John years ago. But maybe you could have an emote that's like one of the characters either holding a paintbrush, which might be a little difficult to display unless it's like the height of the entire canvas. Or you Could go for a little more of a artsy one and have like a character or even just a silhouette maybe, considering the canvas size. But working on an actual canvas. This one would be kind of interesting because, like, obviously the little details of it would not carry at all into the 28 by 28 size. But the shape of it might work still. We could also just have a generic paintbrush without a character. Maybe like a splash of paint or something. That could be good. Alternatively, have some kind of like pen emote. Maybe use like a blue ink color or something so that, you know, it translates, because just using black might not translate very well on a dark background. Oh my god, we're running out of space on this sheet already. You know what? A Dream Course emote could be pretty cool. That could be a good, like, joke one to set as a higher tier. Just like right next to the hole. Oops. Scale that down a little. And one thing to note with all of these is that I have been drawing on the wrong layer. Oops. Alright, check this out. We're gonna salvage that. So, got all that copied. Fuck, I ran out of undo on the L shape here. I took the L, I guess. Alright, let's just lock that layer so I don't draw on it again. Anyways, now that this is down here, we can scale this. It will not have those lines in the final version. It's not an art stream unless you draw on the wrong layer at least once. Maybe you could use Dream Course as the animated emote. Have Kirby get launched. And then go off the stage. That could actually be a really good one. Some sort of Kirby's Dream Course shot where it just misses and goes off the edge. It's a lot to convey in a 28 by 28 canvas, but it could work. I mean, if I do it in pixel animation, then I'm not gonna make the file size too large to use. Just gonna leave a note here. Animated. Could have some kind of first try emote. I'm trying to think of other potential options. I don't know about first try, because I don't want to just do text, but I could do a character, like, doing a taunting pose or something. Yeah, that could work. Let's see. What else? Could have like a hug emote or something. Or on the complete opposite end of that, have like a character powering up. Just do like a freaking Dragon Ball Z style thing. Yeah, so there's, what, 20 potential ideas already? I mean, a few of them are shared ideas, so there's like 5 art ones here, but it's still a lot of ideas to potentially use. So let's develop a few of these further. Also, let's fix the grid while we're at it. Thankfully, I still have the actual canvas grid still turned on, so I can pretty easily recreate this. Let this be a reminder to everyone. This is why you always double check what layer you're drawing on. Because if you don't, it just adds more work later on. Alright, let's turn that setting back off, so now I can draw without it being tied to the grid. So if you missed it earlier, if I have that setting on and I try to draw, it becomes this. Which, I mean, if we were doing this as pixel art, maybe this could be useful, but not right now. And if I was going to do pixel art, I would just be loading up Sprite again. That said, I do like that grid setting just for being able to draw this stuff with, you know, a pencil tool. I'm not having to draw, like... I'm not having to use the line tool to get that done. I'm not having to use, like, default pen brushes, just... pencil. There you go. Nice, clean, straight lines. So we're gonna sketch a few of these with a little more detail. We're gonna draw some of these with the characters from my comic. Because I'm planning to use the Smash Time cast for all of my emotes. Or at least for most of my emotes. I mean, unfortunately, Chibi Robo here is not a Smash Time character. I mean, I doubt Nintendo would notice if I used him, considering they don't care about the series anymore, but I'm not taking that chance. So with the emotes, I would probably have to exaggerate the character designs a little bit to help them read better at the small canvas size. Like, Pierre's eyes are usually not drawn this big. Like, Kayla is usually drawn with, like, really big eyes, but Pierre... I mean, for the longest time, he just had dot eyes. I didn't start drawing him with, like, proper eyes until the newest chapter. Speaking of which, eventually I will get back to working on that comic. I have just not had the time. So yeah, that's how thinking could look with him. Alternatively, let's make a Kayla version of that one. Alright, so yeah, now let's compare how those two would look. Let's take Pierre. Shrink him a little bit. So we can properly get his hair in there. Because he looks a little bit weird with his hair that short. It's not supposed to be short. So yeah, there's two potential versions of thinking. Yeah, I probably don't plan to use Defoe for any of them. Like, yeah, he could work for, like, Smug or some sort of, like, evil-looking emote. But, like, his face is more realistically designed than the other characters in the series. And his mask isn't super expressive. I mean, again, I can cheat that stuff for emotes, but, yeah, I mean, I guess he does have, like, the big goggles over his eyes. I could do, like, the Spider-Man thing with those, but still, probably not using Defoe for very much. Most of the emotes would probably be, like, Pierre and Kayla. So we're gonna save that as the thinking layer. Now let's do the next emote. I don't really need to do a second version of this one. If I do a, like, hello emote, it's obviously going to be Kayla. I might just draw her with, like, a Animal Crossing-esque club hand there. I mean, you're not going to be able to see the detail. Maybe I could do, like, colored lines to draw the rest of the hand, but yeah, that's not the eraser. That is the spray paint tool. Yeah, I could draw the finger lines with colored lines so that, like, from a distance it looks fine, and then closer up it's like, oh yeah, no, there is detail there. Yo, Wootmaster, what's up? Welcome to the stream. so we'll save that as hello. Now, shocked what emote like this. There's definitely a few characters I could go with. So we'll draw a few versions. Start with Pierre. Because with this kind of expression, I could just draw the dot eyes again. Maybe even do like a background on this one rather than having it transparent. Give it like anime action lines. How would I draw this differently for Kayla? Because I've got a few different ideas for how to draw this pose rather than just this shocked expression. Could also draw a version of it using Jamie. She's not really one of the main characters of the series. Like, she's Kayla's best friend in the comic, but I wouldn't really say she's a very important character in the story. Kind of in the same way that, like, Keith is Pierre's best friend in the comic, but he's only really been focused on in, like, a chapter. So yeah, there's 3 different ideas for what, like, a shocked emote could look like. Oh man, this is a good song. So that will be saved as shocked. So a fail emote like this would definitely have to be Kayla, considering it's very apt for her role in the comic a lot of the time. Go with that one. Alright. Cheer emote. And again, probably, if I was going to do one like that, it would make sense to use Kayla for it. Since she's like the most optimistic character in the series. This is the most unfitting music for me to be drawing this super happy emote on. I start drawing the happy emote. My playlist is just like, alright, what if we started... Alright, wait, no, this is actually pretty hype. But the start of that was like the end of the world in Majora's Mask, practically. This one could be an alternate idea for like a cheer or excited emote. I've got a few ideas for this, like, oof emote. This might be another one where Jamie actually works well as a character choice. I don't know how to draw that expression with the glasses, because I could draw like a with regular eyes, but that's not really how her face is drawn in the series. Maybe it would be better to use like Pierre. First off, let's scale that back up a little. So slide that over. A little more of a forward-facing version of this in this one. Rotate this. This is more of like a disgust face, but Yeah, no, I'm not really feeling that pose. We'll just move on to some of the art ideas. It would make sense to use Keith for this, considering he's the artist in the series, but I don't know, like, he is probably the least used of the characters in the series, so I don't know that I want to use him as one of the mascots for, like, emotes and alerts and stuff. Plus, his default expression is literally looking like that, so it doesn't really scream the joy of painting, you know? So I can't really include very much detail in a painting emote like this, considering the size. I think it'd be kind of funny to have, like, Kayla here, give her a beret. Standing in front of a painting. Because, I mean, the only detail that really needs to be abundantly clear is that there's someone standing in front of a canvas. Still going to be tricky to display in 28 by 28, but we could make this work. Scale it up a little, you know? But I think it'd be fun to do that and then have the painting in question be just like a smiley face or something. Or like just a painting of a tree. Just something like incredibly simple. Why is this, what layer is this on? Okay, that's on the same layer as the last few. So then scale this up just a little bit. Maybe a little more that way. Yeah, you know what? I think that works. Yeah, I think that could be a really fun art emote. So I will keep these other two over here. As alternatives. This one doesn't really need a whole lot of expanding, just adjusting the scale of it. Yeah, I don't know which. I don't want to have a hug emote yet. I like the idea, but you know, with so few slots, I don't know if I want to use that one quite yet. I might save it for later on, though. Plus, there's the issue of, like, let's say I draw Kayla for one half of this. I could draw Pierre as well. Or I could draw her and Jamie. I could draw Jamie and Keith. I could draw any of the characters, but the issue, like, especially if I use Kayla, is that her hair is so freaking wide compared to the other characters. And even if I squish it a little, it doesn't leave a ton of room for the other character to be in the frame. And I could remove this half of it. But she also looks a little weird when there's only one of her, like, side bang things there. Or sideburn, whatever they're called. I actually don't know what the actual name for those, like, side puffs of hair would be. Yo, thanks for the sub, dude. I appreciate it. I've really gotta, like, get started on some, like, sub alerts for the channel. And the last idea for a powered up emote. This one would definitely be Pierre. Because his super suit in the comic does have a powered up mode. Kind of exaggerate the hair here, even though, I mean, in the comic it's just an upgrade to his suit, it's not an actual power-up. Alright, and now, let's load up let's actually load a spray back up. And we'll pick one of these emotes to translate into A-Sprite. Actually, we'll do 2 of these. Which layer is that on? This one. Alright, just wanted to make sure that transition was still working. But now if we take that layer into here, and then Oh god, that's so big. Hang on, let me try that again. This takes a few tries to get right just because of the way Aseprite scales. Oh god. That did not scale as well as I had hoped. I mean, that doesn't necessarily say the emote itself won't, but it loses all of its detail with that pencil brush being brought in. So normally what I do is I would scale that down, and then I would start drawing over it in pixel art to figure out the same size it needs to be. Since we can't do that directly right now, because it wasn't going to scale properly, we'll start by just remaking the basic layout in here. Yeah, dude, good luck on the move. So Aseprite happens to have a bunch of these preset palettes you can use. I have one already for Kayla's color scheme, which is one that I obviously custom made rather than, you know, Aseprite coming with that. I would be very upset if Aseprite was like, yo, we decided to make a color palette out of your character without your permission. No, this program rules. And one thing that's useful about making my emotes in here, sometimes I don't even do the final version in Aseprite when I've been working on other people's emotes. But it gives me an idea of how thick I need to make the lines for things to be readable. Which I can then translate into making the same emote in Clip Studio with that same line thickness. And then I'll know, like, okay, this should be readable because it was readable in Aseprite. Yeah, so obviously I would not use pixel art like this quality for the final version. But with this information, I now know, like, okay, if I make the line art this thick around the character, the basic shapes should still be visible. There's the preview window down here to show how it looks at actual size. But this information also helps to make it a little easier to figure out things like where to use colored line art if possible. So yeah, I don't know if I'll actually use this emote. I might redraw it later on. But yeah, that's just an example of how I might convert one of those sketches to pixel art. And then let's see if this will work. Let's change the canvas size. Usually when I make a emote in Clip Studio instead of Sprite, I'll work with a canvas of 1120 by 1120, which is 10 times the size of the largest emote, but you want it to be scaled down rather than, up, obviously. Working at 112 by 112 can be pretty limiting. Ah, damn. So I was gonna try and just copy the emote straight from Sprite. I might be able to do that if I select the pixels. There we go. So then you scale that. Oh, that is not a clean scale at all. There we go. So I would then take this information and draw the emote like that. I might scale it up a little bit further because, I mean, if you'll recall, I guess it's about accurate. Yeah, I would probably change the pose a little bit to be closer to what the original sketch had. Like rotate the body a little bit, lean more, but keep the lines this thick. Let's see, that would be about looks like it would be about a 40. Yeah, so do that then. This isn't a perfect method, but it serves as a good reference point for me to figure out how thick I need to make the lines for the emote to read clearly. Because a lot is lost when you scale something down to 28 by 28. So like at the smallest size it would still look something like this. But then for the higher resolutions it would be a little more clear. Again, I don't know if I'm going to use this emote or even this version of it. I might redraw it. But I wanted to at least demonstrate that before I wrap things up for the day. Because I've actually got to get going. Kind of a shorter... I mean, I guess this was a little bit longer than I originally planned to do the stream, but still shorter than usual. Hope you guys had fun. This was it was fun working on a bunch of different emote ideas. I'm definitely gonna work on some of these off stream and on stream so that people have something to subscribe for. Since I don't know if I actually mentioned it on this stream, but I finally hit affiliate, so I can now get subs and make emotes and all that. Is there anyone we can raid right now? It does not look like anyone I follow right now is live. Prove it, Juker. I dare you. Go live right now. Sure, if you got a suggestion, I'm down for it. Well, Juker, I can't raid you if you're not literally live on Twitch. Everyone just go jump into Juker's chat, I guess. He's not live, but, you know. You can pretend you got to raid him. Alright, you know what? Sure. Let's raid Speed Slasher. We'll raid with Let's just raid with the classic check this out. Alright, thanks for tuning in. See you guys next time.